It's a big day in Dieppe, a tiny village on the only paved road between Cap Haitien, on Haiti's north coast, and the Dominican Republic border about 10 kilometers from here. Dieppe is a community of about 800 people. That number, well, it's a best guess. No one accurately knows the population of the village. It's hard to count. Like most Haitian villages, the population is constantly changing as people migrate out to find work or come home to be with family. It's a pretty typical Haitian farm village, spread out over many hectares on both sides of the paved road. Loosely constructed families mostly, living communally in 1 or 2 room shacks, tucked into the corners of the fields they rely on for the food crops essential to their ability to eke out a subsistence living. Each home here, built from old wood, concrete blocks bought one piece at a time, tin roofs, and found building materials. Each home housing an average of about a half a dozen people or more, their livestock, even the occasional dog. No electricity, no running water and sewage? Well, that's not even a consideration. Welcome to the real world in the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, Haiti, a world in which on this day, important visitors are coming. 2 of them are Canadians, one of them a young woman visiting Haiti for the first time, the other very well known to the people who live in Dieppe. Glenn Jackson is his name. He's the one that sticks out in the group shots, easy to spot, a tall, graying 68-year-old retired veterinarian from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. A man with a good heart, someone who over the last few years has very practically and very consistently helped the people of this village take a few small steps forward.
Today we were at the school, and we were at the school yesterday, and when I see the joy on those kids' faces when you walk into the room and they chase you all over, and then they come up and ask you personal questions. Now today, it's interesting, the grade 6s who played soccer for us yesterday, or football, or boo, as you call it in Creole, don't have a soccer ball just to play scrub with. So the soccer balls the school have are locked up after the games. All they want is a soccer ball. So simple. And for us, you'd go down to the corner store and buy a soccer ball. For them, it'd be their life savings to scrounge up to buy a soccer ball. So we'll get them some soccer balls.
Glenn Jackson is one of many people from his hometown who are engaged with a charity called Hearts Together for Haiti. It raises money for good works with a focus on low overhead and lots of direct investment here on the ground where it counts the most. They are the group that raised the donations needed to build and support Dieppe's school, its clinic, and an orphanage. It's called Kainu, Our House, home to about a dozen girls rescued from childhood slavery. That's a circumstance so common in Haiti that the Haitians have actually given it a name. These are rest-avec children, children who arrest avec. In English, that translates as stay with, as in they stay with other families when they're abandoned or sold by their own. 300,000 kids in Haiti out of a population of about 10 million. Like this girl living at the orphanage, Jaline Pierre. That's the name she was given at the orphanage because she doesn't actually know her real name, her given name.
Mais qui côté Jocelyn t'es venu joindre? Qui côté t'es trouvé? Maman qui pote bali ou bien l'équipe?
Oui.
Okay. She said that her mother brought her to.
Maman l'aller dans Ponyol.
Okay. Et elle n'a pas eu quitté la caille Jocelyn?
Oui.
She said that her mother went to work in the Dominican Republic and she left her at somebody's house. She named a guy, his name is Jocelyn. She said that he used to treat her different than his kids. Like he doesn't feed her as he feeds his kids. And so kisa ite feu kisa ite kon feu fena kala kisa como ite na kala kisa ite kon fena kala la ka Jocelyn.
Yo te kon bam lave vaisseau lave radam.
They put her to do works like washing clothes and washing plates, and so she used to work as an adult, like a big person.
This is the medical clinic that Hearts Together for Haiti sponsors in Depé. People arrive here from all over the region when the doctor and nurse come in from the city for their version of Visitors' Day, as generally 2 times a week. They treat fevers, chills, colds, flus, and any other physical problems that trouble the villagers and their families. It's their only access to frontline health care. There is no other place to go. That's why the charity is so committed to it. This is one of the most direct and practical ways to help. The other is the community school, École Communautaire, or as it's better known to the locals, L'École Espoir, Creole for School of Hope. Kindergarten to grade 6, although the plan is to add a class for grade 7s as well. It starts with the basics, math, reading, writing, although the curriculum is expanding to include some more contemporary skills, like how to use a tablet computer, something that's going over really big with the kids.
The tablets, which we're teaching computer to the grade 6 class, our seniors, and the tablets were manufactured in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and they were manufactured by a Korean company. Really? And they obviously are in good quality because it's been a year and they're still all working beautifully.
The other Canadian visitor traveling with Glenn Jackson on his trip to Depé this time is Kate Jackson. She's Glenn's cousin's daughter. That's his second cousin. She's a 26-year-old woman enrolled in a master's degree program in international development, though on this trip she's working as part of the documentary crew. She already has some awareness of the problems faced by stressed populations around the world. She's decided that a life work tackling the problems of poor and displaced populations is essential, certainly now and even more in the future. It's Kate's first trip to Haiti. She wants some hands-on experience in local, ground-level aid programs. She hopes to get some clarity about questions she's asking herself, and which in fact most people have, when confronted with the daily inequities of life in a place like Haiti. Is there a best answer? When you decide to help, do you make a commitment to the solutions proposed for the big problems? Or is it better to help one life at a time? Down here, the question is, do you help Haiti or do you help Haitians?
So what's your decision here? Do you want to help the UN or USAID or one of these large organizations where you watch the overhead trickle away at your donation money, or something that is more targeted and more focused on small, on-the-ground change and development, and what's most effective? And that's the thing that I don't know yet, and that I want to figure out on this trip.
Take a look at this country, the way Kate Jackson did on this trip and which her cousin Glenn has done over and over and over. It's ragged and it's frayed. Look at the border town 10 kilometers down the road from Depé. It's called Ouanaminthe. People here live very desperate and very chaotic lives. On the Haitian side, they line up every morning waiting for the border gates to open at 8 a.m. so they can get into the Dominican Republic to load their trucks and bikes and backs with goods to sell that they can't get at home. When the border closes each afternoon at 5, well, they just ignore the fact that there's a formal border at all. They ford what they call the Massac River. It's a muddy stream dividing the countries with a violent and bloody history. This was a location of a 1930s massacre of an estimated 20,000 Haitians.
1937, so we had a battle with the Dominicans.
Yeah.
Like when a Dominican kill a Haitian, they throw it in the river.
Yeah.
And when a Haitian
The Dominican government didn't like the stream of Haitians, so they killed them.
Yeah, massacre from massacre.
Yes.
In an attempt to dissuade the peasants on the poor side of this divide from doing what they still are doing today, crossing the border to get what they need to live. It's clear that Haiti is broken in many, many ways. It is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. That means the things that people in developed countries take for granted, healthcare, education, jobs, just aren't available. Neither are most of the basics. Lights at night that work consistently, water in the taps, someone to clean up the garbage, crippling poverty. But, and this is the big but, the thing about Haiti is that the people of this country are committed to pulling themselves and their families out of the chaos. If there's such a thing as a national character, the character of Haitians is built on determination and hope. They have a long history of fighting back. Today, they work with what they have in the firm belief that they can get a little more. At the start of the Depé Visitors' Day soccer match, Kate Jackson gets the kids singing the Haitian national anthem. It's a stirring song celebrating the country's independence 200 years ago, when this nation of former slaves kicked out their French colonial masters. Haitians honor the fallen heroes who won that victory. They also admit that that was the beginning of the country's descent into poverty. The new leaders knew how to build monuments to themselves. This is a statue of the first Haitian king, Christophe. What he and his successors didn't know was that in the 19th century, the world just wasn't ready for a nation of freed black slaves. The state of the country today is a direct result of trade warfare Europe and America waged against Haiti through the 19th and 20th centuries as punishment. King Christophe built this palace. It's called Sans-Souci. It fell in an earthquake 32 years after it was built. The palace didn't survive. Neither did the Haitian economy. It's a bitter history that reinforces the value of Hearts Together for Haiti's objectives and guides the advice Glenn Jackson has for his cousin as she struggles with her big questions. According to Glenn, it's better for him to leave history in the past and the big picture strategies for future solutions to others. It's better to help now, one-on-one.
So for a small charity, we can't affect national policy, but we can make the community better. So our little corner of the world.
And what kind of changes have you seen in your community in Depé?
Health is a huge thing. So we started in a village that had never had a school. In our first year of opening school, we decided on kindergarten and grade 1, and we did a bit of a survey and thought we'd have maybe 40 children in the age group 5 to 7 starting kindergarten, grade 1. Never dreaming that most of our class would be teenagers who've never had an opportunity to go to school. And those teenagers now are 18, 19, and 20, and they're in grade 6 and doing incredibly well.
So proud.
So proud. And we have introduced a lunch program. And since we introduced the lunch program, the kids are more focused. They are learning better because we realized they were starving.
Right.
For many of them, that's the only meal they get. We've now introduced a medical program, and we're winning on the parasite problem. We're teaching different health issues, water problems, parasites, different things like that. And the latest development is that the adults in the community, and I think we have about 80% totally illiterate people.
Right.
They don't even know how to hold a pen, have come and asked for adult education classes because they see their children learning and reading and writing and doing basic math, and so they want to be involved.
It's just about halftime in the soccer match. The grade 6 boys are winning. On the sidelines, the girls' teams are waiting for their chance to play. Hearts Together for Haiti has been active with its programs here in Depe since 2001, spending very purposefully. The team uniforms, for example, price negotiated carefully and purpose bought with a donation from a single Canadian donor. For the record, in 2015, the charity raised $344,272, according to its Canada Revenue Agency tax return. 97% went directly to efforts like this school and its programs. Just under $4,000 were spent on administration. That's about 1% on overhead.
Remy, Raymond, Wilfred, Arlie, and you.
One of Glenn Jackson's first jobs on Visitors' Day in Depe is to hand out pictures to the kids. He took the shots on an earlier visit to the school. The idea is to get the snaps for charity sponsors back home. They like to see who they're supporting.
So then tell them I'm cheering for the grade 5 boys today.
Glenn likes to make sure that each of the kids gets a copy of their picture too.
They have to beat the grade 6 boys.
This may be the only shot of themselves that they have, and they're very happy to get it.
Everybody have an envelope? Yes.
One of the girls is 17-year-old Natasha. This is the one Kate Jackson's parents are sponsoring. $300 a year for education, books, uniforms, and a lunch program. Natasha is now in grade 3. She lives in Depe, about a kilometer away from the school, with her mother, her grandmother, and her siblings. She is the most educated person in her family, and she wants to be a nurse.
She said that she feels sad that she's 17 years old and she's still in grade 3. And I said, if you could take a wish, and which grade you want to be? She said she would like to be in grade 9. So she was shy when she was saying that. Qui ça vous voulez apprendre là où sortir l'école, là où finir l'école là?
Infirmière.
She wants to be a nurse. When she finished school, she wants to be a nurse.
The man translating for Natasha is Joe Barbosa. He's the on-site program manager hired by Hearts Together for Haiti to keep things running.
Sometimes I go and I buy the supplies for the month.
Glenn and Kate met up with him later that evening at a local restaurant. Standard Haiti, one light bulb to eat dinner by. Joe talked about the challenges and the complications when some of your students are orphans, restivex, the young girls rescued from virtual slavery, being cared for in the orphanage beside the school.
How does the rescuing go? So when you find these girls and you want to bring them to the house, or do they come to you?
There is a group they call Ibers. They bring them. They bring them to the house. They bring them, but I had some problems with them because they only bring the kids. They don't care about giving the right information that they should give. Like there is 3 of them that they brought to the house. They don't have birth certificates.
Okay.
So they are growing up with us, but I'm just saying that someday they have to go to secondary school and they will need a birth certificate and they don't have one. And sometimes they said that they found them living in as Restavek in some houses, but they just gave a piece of paper saying their name and the date that they arrived there. And
Not even date of birth, the date
No,
that they arrived
no,
at the Restavek home?
yeah.
Okay.
So
In January 2010, Haiti experienced a massive earthquake in the area around the capital, Port-au-Prince. The destruction was staggering. The response to the tragedy was an example of what big agencies can do. Billions of dollars were raised from donors. A relief effort, military in scale, was organized. Lots of people were helped. But uncountable millions of dollars were wasted, misspent, or stolen. The intentions of the donors, the countries, the organizations, and the individuals who contributed were beyond reproach. But in a broken system, it's too easy for large amounts of money and goods to be misdirected. Glenn Jackson knew about the earthquake relief effort. He wanted to help in Haiti, but he chose a course different from that of many other volunteers. He went to the north of Haiti, where the problems of the earthquake were felt not in physical destruction, but in the undermining of the fragile support systems that Haiti's rural communities rely on. Glenn Jackson chose to support the Hearts Together for Haiti project in Dieppe, where he felt the help he had to offer would have a real, direct, and positive impact.
I probably realized the extent of the poverty, but I didn't realize how involved I would become. And that evolved gradually and slowly and continues to evolve as even to this day. But at the time, as you meet the people and talk to the people and you realize the chances of success for so many of those people is almost nil. They just have no opportunity at all. And so if you could provide them with some sort of an opportunity to improve. So in a village like Dieppe, where there's no school, and you move in and you build a school, then all of a sudden you're creating so many opportunities for the young people. And you're also creating goals and things that they can strive for, which they had no opportunity.
On Glenn Jackson's first trip to Haiti, he took time out to visit Haiti's big tourist attraction. It's called the Citadel, a massive fortress perched on a mountain 15 kilometers back from the Atlantic coast. It was built by Haiti's first king, Christophe, shortly after independence. It was supposed to be the base for the Haitian army from which it could protect the country from a French military invasion that never came. During that side trip, Glenn crystallized his thinking about how he, as an individual, could most effectively spend his time and his money in Haiti. The catalyst was a young man Glenn hired as a guide for the Citadel tour. Wadner Cherenfant, orphaned as a child, trying to make money to care for his siblings, a young man with, he thought, an unobtainable dream to become a doctor. Wadner Cherenfant is now in medical school in Dominican Republic. Education paid for by Glenn Jackson.
Watch out.
For Wadner, a huge leap from his roots, a village on the north coast of Haiti called Labadie. It's a rugged place, unconnected by road to the rest of the country, accessible only by boat, a place where the disparities between the world's rich and the world's poor are as obvious as a slap in the face. The cruise lines have built a dock and private resort beach across the bay from Wadner's home in Labadie, a place the locals are not allowed to visit. It's gated and fenced. The ships that dock 3 times a week, a pointed reminder of what the people of Labadie can never expect to share in their own country without some outside help to build better lives.
Go ahead, just tell me what this all is.
Okay. And here is the dining room. About for the food is the room. Okay, and then is the where my grandfather was live. And then is the where my mother was died. So she just close right now.
Okay, go ahead. Anything else you want to tell me?
Okay. And then that's the way we live together with my mother.
Well, you have to remember it was probably my first or second trip to Haiti. At this point in time, I wasn't sponsoring anyone. And with Wadner, I had the opportunity to spend the day with him because we went to the Citadel. So in conversation on the way, I was able to get the history of his life. And then when I started to ask him about his goals and dreams, he almost cried because he knew that there would be no opportunity for him in life.
Become a doctor is so important about the life, my future, my family, to help my family, to help my country, because I have many friends that I can explain about the doctor. And then I would like to help somebody like my new that Glenn. I think I don't want to have a lot of money to help one or somebody, because if I have one thing in my spirit that I know, if you are sick, I can explain you why you become too sick, and I have to tell you how you can prevent it and how you can where I can say that.
How to heal it?
A healing, yeah, that's right. Without the parents, about the mother or father.
Wadner Cher-Enfant will be a practicing doctor in another 6 years.
One thing is more important for me.
He says that in the future he's committed to helping others the way that Glenn has helped and continues to help him. The model Glenn developed with Wadner is one that he has now repeated dozens of times. The driver of the boat taking Glenn and Kate back from Labadee is another example of how it works with Glenn. Lulu, the driver, met Glenn on a previous trip. He told Glenn he had a plan to build a water taxi business. He wanted to make money to send his children to school. Glenn reviewed the plan and then invested in the business. He bought Lulu a motor for his boat. And what does Glenn get out of it? Well, satisfaction and free rides when he comes to the village for a visit. There is nothing easy about Haiti. At a high level, in those places where the big international aid agencies and intergovernmental commissions operate, there isn't a solution proposed that doesn't just find another problem. How do you fix a country where only 30% of the population has electricity? How do you work in a country where 1% of the population, the descendants of generations of petty dictators, control the majority of what little wealth actually exists here? Where do you start in a city like Cap-Haïtien, the biggest city in the north of the country at 200,000 people? This is actually where Christopher Columbus first made landfall in the New World. He reported back to Spain that this was a paradise. Columbus would be shocked. Today, it's paradise lost. So what about Kate Jackson's question? Do you help Haiti or do you help Haitians?
After seeing what we've seen in Haiti, it solidified the fact that every aid situation is different and unique. And what I keep on seeing in Haiti is that this small micro-funding and activation of the population is one of the most effective ways for Haiti to really build itself up. You want to build a strong society, and strong society is made up of strong community actors. It's made up of well-educated, passionate, and involved members. And so when you are able, as Hearts Together for Haiti has done, to lift people up and to give them opportunities that they previously did not have access to, then they're able to be really effective actors in the community development of Haiti, and they are able to lead the way to Haiti's growth. Something that you see throughout the history is that there are people who got their freedom almost too soon, before they knew what to do with it, and now they're trying to come together and make something out of what is generally a historic mess. And the best way to do that I saw, was to educate and activate the Haitian population so that they are able to lead the way to their strong and successful freedoms.
For myself and for small charities like Hearts Together for Haiti, we cannot impact the politics of our country or the politics of Haiti, and so we have to focus on Haitians. And in a sense, you're going to be affecting policy, because as that group of people becomes educated and takes leadership roles in the country, then they're the ones that are going to make the changes. And I also find that if you help the individual and you're going to see positive responses within the first year or two, you're going to continue your support. Whereas if you're involved in a political organization, you may get frustrated and leave.
Back in Dieppe, Visitors' Day has been a time of celebration. There's obvious pride in the children dressed sharply in their uniforms as they start their day singing the Haitian national anthem and honoring their flag, commemorating the heroes who won Haiti its freedom for them more than 200 years ago. At the clinic, the mothers and fathers waiting for the doctor feel happy because there's someone to help them understand the coughs and the fevers and the pains they and their children are experiencing. In the orphanage, Kai knew there is a meal and a bed and some toys and freedom from the childhood slavery that had trapped these children in a life of cruel desperation. And in the schoolyard, there's the excitement of the visitors and the game. In Haiti, there is an adage that says an empty sack cannot stand up. It rings very true here. Without education and health and a lot of support, the tomorrows for these children and their families would be an empty sack. Hearts Together for Haiti and people like Glenn Jackson and his cousin Kate are doing what they can to change that, so that for these children and someday their children, there will be a chance to achieve what we all want, the possibility of a better future.